Fyterfest is in the bag. What a crazy show it was. I don't know if it lived up to your guys' expectations. I know it certainly kept up to mine. There was some controversy that we'll get into. Sorry, this video is a little late. There were some technical difficulties going on during the night of the show, and then scheduling conflicts have led to this video coming out late. So apologies. Is It Dev is on assignment in Portland looking for DB Cooper. I'm Jimmy P, and here is the reviews for Fyterfest. Alright, so we start off with the pre-show. Started with that three-way tag team match for the spot for the bye at All Out. You had Private Party, the Best Friends, and then you had SoCal, which was Frankie and Scorpio Sky, and this was an excellent way to start off the pay-per-view. Usually when you get a bunch of good tag action or a bunch of good guys who are solid wrestlers at the beginning of a show, you're going to get the crowd super hot, and this didn't disappoint. This was a good way to introduce Private Party to the wrestling world, and it turns out after the show they were signed to AEW. Crazy stuff. That guy Marquez is really good. He did this super high like swanton moonsault thing that you have to check it out. The Best Friends were on fire, just devastating people. I really like the stuff with the young guys trying to show off, and then the old timers coming in and just beating them down and getting them out of the match. Really wasn't a fan of the screaming that Isaiah did. But other than that, match was solid. There were some really amazing spots in there. The combination work between SoCal and Censored continues to be really good. Really awesome combinations. They actually did a near fall off of a pretty devastating combination that I actually thought was going to get a win, and they tricked me there, so sweet. After that unexpected match that we didn't have any information on, the Librarians. Now, I've been seeing all this stuff, and most people are like hating on the librarian gimmick, but you know, if you're an old school wrestling fan like myself, and you know, you like all aspects of wrestling, like yes, I love pure wrestling and I love to see the sport and stuff, but you know, I like a little comedy, I like a little storylines, I like characters, and the Librarians are like old school throwback characters to like the 80s and stuff. Repo Man, the Mountie, those type of characters. That's what these guys are, and you know, they're being freshened up from a modern take, and I really appreciate it. So that's just my take on it. So we get to see some interaction between the two Librarians, Peter Avalon and Leva Bates, and so that was really neat. He's trying to profess his love, it's not working out. Then this leads to Leva Bates, coming into the ring and cutting a promo. Allie shows up and comes out, and then they end up having a match. I mean, it wasn't the greatest match, but it was a pretty darn good match. Some really awesome spots. Allie is an incredible wrestler. I'm looking forward to seeing her wrestle Brandy at Fight for the Fallen. By the way, the Best Friends got the win on that first match. I forgot. I need to slow down a little bit, guys. Whoops. But yeah, so the Best Friends got the win on that. Predictions were pretty much even between me and Is It Dev. We ended up even on the show. We each got one wrong, which was like the only two that we differed on. You'll see. I'm not going to give those away right now. But yeah, Best Friends win. Awesome. Continuing to move their momentum. I think they're going to end up being the first tag team champions, or they'll be in it in the finals. But that's just my call, because you know, they're an excellent tag team. They're already over as hell. Alright, so then yeah, we were talking about the women's match. Allie gets the win. Some really good spots in that match. I really liked how Leva Bates was incorporating the Librarian shtick into like her submissions and stuff like that. So that was a decent match. I enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff with the Librarians. Yeah, and then of course the end of the pre-show saw the Michael Nakazawa versus Jabali hardcore street fight type match. Oh my goodness, this was nuts. Michael Nakazawa got in some of his classic oil spots, and Jabali was selling like a mofo. They were doing some brutal stuff to each other. There was a good spot with the little kiddie pool where Jabali's all drowning Michael Nakazawa. There's some slams into it. Really good match for Jabali not being a full-time wrestler and Michael Nakazawa being Michael Nakazawa, carrying the match pretty much. But yeah, not the greatest, but not bad at all. Great way to end the pre-show, and the crowd was super hot for it. I mean, and you know, that's not an all wrestling crowd. That was a gaming crowd with some wrestling fans, you know, sprinkled into it. So, you know, it was awesome they were able to appeal to them with Jabali, the CEO of CEO. So yeah, that was the pre-show. So then we'll get on to the main card here. Oh, Michael Nakazawa. I keep missing these endings for you guys. Michael Nakazawa gets the win. So those guys are 1-1 now because they had a match at the previous year's CEO, and Jabali won that one. So I'm pretty sure you can look forward to a blow-off next year at CEO. That seems to be a pretty good partnership those guys got going on. Alright, so now on to the main show. So, Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin. Oh my goodness. Controversy, controversy, controversy. Now, this match was a really good way to spotlight the upcoming Darby Allin and what he could do. And, you know, they used a lot of their promotional abilities moving into this match, showing where Darby Allin came from the skateboarding world. You know, the things that have happened to him where he's almost died and things of that nature. So, you know, it feeds into his character of like he has to always be doing something or he'll be dead, and, you know, how he's got to live life to the fullest because it's so short. Yada, yada, yada. Cody, being Cody, you know, coming in trying to be the old veteran. This match, mid-paced. It's cool seeing how Darby like moves around. He's real like slanky and stuff. He does a lot of quick runs and turn rolls while people are, you know, doing runs, so it'll catch them off guard. There's this really sick moment where he does this freaking coffin drop off the turnbuckle to try to get Cody onto the ring apron, and Cody moves, so he just dead drops onto the ring apron and falls over. Ridiculous, ridiculous spot. And that's just some of the awesome stuff you get going on there. It's awesome to see how Cody's evolving. He's got some new moves in his repertoire. But end of the match, Cody gets the W, of course, because they kind of just make it like Darby is suicidal in his stuff. And, you know, he went a little bit too far with some of his moves, and, you know, it cost him. But look to see him being booked strong moving forward. So then after the match, you know, Cody's celebrating. Here comes Shawn Spears, the former Ty Dillinger, out with the chair, blasts him on the head. Blood just starts gushing everywhere. Cody looks like he doesn't know where he is. Paramedics are rushing to come get him. You know, they take him out of there. So it was supposedly a chair spot gone wrong. Obviously everything's fine as far as Cody has been putting out, and, you know, AEW's official statement. It's unfortunate when those things happen, but they do happen. So, you know, I don't want to criticize these guys. They have a vision for what they want to do with wrestling, and, you know, look at Cody's willing to commit to this kind of stuff to, you know, push his vision. You know, I'm all about, you know, talking to him about his safety, but he knows the risks, and he accepted the risks. So let's not criticize too much for that. He's doing it for our entertainment. Speedy recovery. So then after that, we get SEMA versus Christopher Daniels. I don't know if these are in the right order, but I'm just going through the match card. Is It Dev was really looking forward to this match. Christopher Daniels is his boy, has been for a long time. And it definitely did not disappoint. I'm not too familiar with SEMA, even though he's been in the wrestling game for a long time. And, you know, after seeing him wrestle with Christopher Daniels, you know, you can kind of compare the two, and he's kind of like Christopher Daniels, only he's Oriental. Great mash of styles, excellent build up to the finish. Sema actually gets the win. I figured that was going to happen like that. You can't keep booking the Chinese guys weak. And so I feel like that's just going to continue that feud and probably start heating it up between SEU and the OVE guys. Then you get the women's three-way between Nyla Rose, Riho, and Mayumi Sakazaki. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I was super happy to see these Joshi girls back. Nyla Rose was being the monster heel that she needed to be and was doing an excellent job. It was awesome seeing the two Joshi girls like agree to work together to fight Nyla Rose, and then how they quickly turned on each other, and that stuff got super savage. Those girls will just take blasts. I like how Sakazaki, like how she'll do the floater off the top of the ring ropes off the side onto the people. It looks really cool. I was picking Nyla Rose to win that match because I thought they would want their homegrown monster to, you know, look strong and a win. And the Joshi girls, I didn't think it would hurt them too bad, but they actually gave the win to Riho, which is also not the wrong idea, because it's great to give these Joshi girls the wins and show that they're strong as well. So Devin got that one right. I didn't get that right. I got it wrong. But a great match. I really enjoyed that one. A good display of the small versus big dynamic that you can get in some of the greatest wrestling matches. Alright, so we also had Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, the Elite, versus Laredo Kid, Pentagon, and Phoenix, the Lucha Bros. Oh, like when you say those names, you already know that it's going to be super crazy as far as what's going on in the match. Since it was Fyterfest, the Young Bucks and Kenny had this incredible intro. Like, they started playing the Young Bucks music, and then it turns to Street Fighter 2 music, and then here comes Nick and Matt dressed like Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter, and some jobber comes running out from the crowd and is coming up to him, and like everybody's like selling it really well. Even I was surprised for a minute, and they're like, "What's going on? Who's this guy?" And he's all standing there, and then everything goes dark, and you hear the stuff from Akuma, and then like everything's flashing, and then you see the sign, and then there's Kenny Omega with the symbol of Akuma on his back doing the demons and the Rage Demon end thing. Anyways, it sucks because after watching Being the Elite, you find out that like he had a costume which would have like really amplified it, but it didn't get there in time. So, you know, he had to improvise. But it turned out all right. He still had the red hair thing going on. He had the symbol. It was on through the match. Wow. And this match was incredible, dude. It's really great to see the Elite team up again. It's been a while. It's been a while since you've seen Kenny getting down like this. Awesome tag team moves. Laredo Kid coming out super strong, and he had some fire from the crowd, so it's nice to see that these new guys they're bringing in there are being recognized and are getting over. That's what seems to be one thing I'm noticing with these AEW crowds. They're very accepting of everybody. So I mean that's great, because that means everybody's gonna get a chance to shine, and everybody can get over. But it's fast paced. A lot of new stuff from Nick Jackson. He's been practicing some new Lucha Libre stuff. There was this really awesome spot though that I gotta tell you about with Matt Jackson, where he's doing like rolling zuplexes to these guys, and he's just hitting all of them. And every time, like they kept trying to tag in and out, and he'd just grab them and he'd rolling suplex the next one, and then he'd get the next one, and then two of them came on him, and he just went beast mode, powerhouse, grab both of them, doubles, rolling suplex. Oh, I went ape crap. It was awesome. That's definitely a highlight for me. Kenny busted knees on people's heads, you know. I could take that all day. Obviously, the Elite get the win there. No. Oh, I got a little ahead of myself there. And then we got to talk about the Fatal 4-Way between Jimmy Havoc, Luchasaurus. I mean, not Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy, accompanied by Luchasaurus. Hangman Page, MJF in a 4-way. This match was fast paced and like I think it was really meant to, you know, keep the feud between Hangman and MJF like strong, and also to kind of spotlight Jungle Boy. I feel like Jimmy Havoc was more of just like a body there, unfortunately. Jimmy Havoc's great, but like he didn't do anything too remarkable in the match except for when he was getting destroyed. Jungle Boy, on the other hand, was tearing people up, doing crazy flips. Like, he does this insane, like, everybody's talking about it. Flip from, like, the corner pole on the outside. It's some parkour stuff, but he's so close to, like, the ring, and he does this crazy backflip onto some guys. Oh, you gotta see it. I can't even describe it with my mouth. It's so crazy. Those guys are all fighting back and forth. They did a good job keeping MJF strong because, like, they're trying to. MJF has all these good points when he's cutting his promos that, you know, he's never been pinned by Hangman Page. Hangman ends up winning the 4-way. But not because MJF got pinned, and he points that out. He says he's never fought Hangman Page one-on-one. And so they're using all that to keep him with good heel heat and keeping him strong. And Hangman still looks strong because he's getting all the wins. I think this might lead to an eventual, like, or I think Hangman's gonna win the title, and then that his first feud will be with MJF, and you know they're building that right now, and that it's gonna be good. So. Yeah, all that happened. I picked Hangman to win. Dev picked MJF. It didn't work that way, so that was our difference in wins. So we ended up even on this, which is good because I either needed to win or not go backwards, because on the Double or Nothing predictions of pay-per-view, Is It wiped the floor with me. And, you know, eventually we're still talking about it and working it out, but this is going to lead to some grave consequences for one of our futures. So, that was good. So that was the end of the official AEW show. But they had one more match, which was the Jon Moxley versus Joey Janela unsanctioned match. And... oh, they went crazy with this match, dude. If you like some old school hardcore action, this has got everything for you. Table bumps, out of this world table bumps, so many thumbtacks, chair shots. I mean, they throw the kitchen sink and everything else, barbed wire, everything you could want in a hardcore match is in this match, and it's in spades, I tell you. Nasty bumps all around, but You knew going into this match that Joey Janela had no chance of beating Jon Moxley, but they did a great job showing how fearless and how tenacious Joey Janela is. He does this crazy spot with an elbow drop from the ladder over the ropes of the ring to Jon Moxley through a table. Just absolutely buries him. They get a bunch of thumbtacks out, and Jon Moxley's so sadistic, he takes Joey Janela's boots off so that he can like suplex his feet and stuff into the thumbtacks. It's bloody, it's crazy, it's so good. Amazing. I don't know what else to say. Jon Moxley gets the win, obviously, but that leads to some shenanigans because Kenny Omega comes out for like super revenge and destroys Jon Moxley. There's a lot of good spots there. I don't want to spoil too many of those. You should really check the show out. You can watch it for free for a while on Bleacher Report still. There's some good clips on YouTube too. Who knows how long those will last. So see them while you can. But Kenny Omega closes out the show by destroying Moxley. You think Moxley would be all mad about this stuff? He gets picked up by the referees. He throws him off, and you just see him smiling. This is all part of Moxley's crazy plan. Ooh, All Out's gonna be so good. If that was like a little teaser of what we're gonna get at All Out, I'm so excited. Yep, so that was Fyterfest. I thought it was a really good show. We got Fight for the Fallen coming out here in just a couple of weeks, so we'll have a prediction video coming out about that. I don't have too many complaints about the show, and if I have them, they're minor. One being that, you know, if you're gonna do an unsanctioned match, then it should be unsanctioned. Like, why was the commentators there still doing commentary? It would have been so much more impactful if they just would have cut the commentary off. But, you know, that's just nitpicky. And then the only other thing that really bothered me about the show was Isaiah's screaming. And, you know, that's just nitpicky. So overall, AEW continues to knock it out of the park. I'm Jimmy P with Rada Peach Productions. If you like our wrestling content or any of our other content, do us a favor and subscribe. It really helps out the channel.